I went there to give SZA a jacket. So I had these jackets in my bag with no idea how I would get it past security.
Yeah.
And I just was like, yo, I'm going to figure out a way because I really want this on their tour. In my room, like, fuck Perfection. And I literally turned that into my Tumblr name on some rebellious stuff. My mom never knew, but my mom is the reason why effPerfection came about, believe it or not. I hate the Balenciaga bandits. Like, bruh, yo, I just spent $6,000 on the Balenciaga, da-da-da. It's like that Drewski skit, the misunderstood fashion kids.
Oh my!
He helped Kendrick get it, and man, dog, that's my favorite rapper in the entire world. By the way, world, if y'all are watching this, because I'm trying to teach the youth not to be perfect at the same time. That's the message. We live on Instagram and Twitter, and everything looks perfect, and we probably shouldn't be doing that. So. Yeah.
Welcome to the SoundCentric podcast. I am your host, Adam Dash, and today we are joined by someone who is both an incredible rapper and incredible fashion designer. And we're going to get into a lot about his music and his fashion. And one of the most important things in hip-hop is the intersection of hip-hop and fashion. They say that hip-hop has like 4 categories. It's MCing, breakdancing, graffiti, and DJing. And I think fashion could easily be just like a 5th extension
for sure.
to what hip-hop is. But his album dropped in 2024, One War at a Time. He is dropping a new song with Westside Boogie, which is a remix to his song Way Back, which is on that album. And he also has the clothing brand effPerfection, which we will get into. But Kay Anthony, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so blessed to be here. First interview in like 3 years, and I'm happy that this is my first one because I really mess with what you do and all of the stuff that you bring to hip hop.
Thank you, bro. My goal is not even to make like. I love interviews. My goal is to make it, conversational based. The goal is to just talk music and talk this genre that we both love. That is the best thing ever. And we were just talking about it before, but this will be a little outdated by the time this comes out. But Clipse, just dropped So Be It yesterday, and what a
we
time for hip-hop.
Talk about it.
We gotta talk about it. It's okay if it's 2 weeks later.
Oh man, amazing. Like, I've never been this drawn into the Clipse. I'm ready for whatever they're about to drop. Like, 2 for 2 is crazy.
Yeah.
And it's not about the disses. I don't really care for the disses are cool, right? But just the delivery, how much Pusha T has studied Biggie in his entire career. He's been rapping since, I didn't even know, I learned this the other day. He's been rapping since 97 or something like that. To study that for that long, and I feel like he studied it for so long that we finally got him finding his own carving of like Biggie, but in his own way. It's ridiculous. It's sharp, it's cutting, and it's different. I love everything that he's doing right now. I'm not gonna lie to you.
On first listen, this might be just me being stupid, but I didn't even notice the diss at first because it was the last verse, and I was at work.
Me either.
So
I played it back 3 times, and then I heard it, and then he was talking about in the last verse. I was like, oh, okay.
And then I read the interview about it, which he has some points. If people want to get mad that he uses names when he drops an album, he stands on the principle, and he's a history of this exact standard that he stands on. The music video is what really got me. I love a music video where each scene, if you pause and screenshot it and made it a square, it's an album cover. Like the one with the shadow.
The video was really fire. The video was really
like the shadow
fire.
of him on the house while he's rapping. That's insane. Or like the clouds moving while he's standing still.
Ooh. Talk about cinematography. Who shot that?
It was some girl. I'm blanking her name. Some girl sounds disrespectful, but it was some amazing woman.
Amazing woman that did some crazy cinematography. That's a video that I would shoot. Like, if I had the budget.
That's the type of video I love. I think Suave kills his videos.
Suave is really good at what he does. I've glazed
his videos because those are really sick.
I think fashion-wise and rapping-wise, and I've never spoken to him. I've spoken to Ben Riley on Twitter. Me and him follow each other, but I only see Suave stuff because of Ben Riley. But man, Suave got it. He's doing I just seen he did the
Nike campaign.
I cannot pronounce the company name for anything. I'm gonna call it Alma because that's the only part of it that I could pronounce.
Alma x Nike.
Killed it. Yeah. Alma x Nike, dope, fire. I just seen that this morning and I was like, yeah, that's really fire. He deserves it. Like his I I went back. I'm one of those hip hop people that like if I hear your stuff, I'm gonna go listen to your projects and see like what you make.
Yeah, that's the fun part.
The Alameda Sun project,
Oh,
whoo,
I
fire.
got to
Grown Man, Grammys.
Grammy.
I love those. I love those songs.
And the videos for
Crazy.
that album also
Videos
sick.
is insane.
It's one of
Whoever
those
shoots
things.
this video, shout out to him.
I think his name's Connor Price. So shout if I got your name right off the top. Sorry to the lady that I don't know your name, but Connor Price, I got you. I think I
Sorry to the
remember
lady, I
yours.
don't know your name.
It's
But
like
yeah,
the Kiki
super.
Palmer meme. I do not know
Yeah,
that. I
sorry
do
to
not know
this
the name.
man. No, super dope though. Suave's dope. Ben Riley's dope also. Yeah, that whole side of like creation from Atlanta, and I think they're out here in New York now. I think one of my friends told me Suave be in New York and shit. So yeah,
They're
super
tough.
dope, super dope.
So before we get into like the intersection of hip hop and fashion, which is such a great deep dive talk that we're about to get into,
Come
I
on,
want
guys, y'all see me with a Marc Jacobs hoodie on,
yeah, ooh,
real fashion shit. You know, you
I'm just
feel
rock,
me?
I'm just rocking my Kendrick tour sweatshirt and my brother's hat that he sells. So shout out to
Fire.
Brett.
I actually wish I went to the Big Steppers tour. I ended up going to the recent one.
Oh, how
I'm
was it?
blanking right. GNX.
Yeah, too expensive for me
It's way too expensive.
to be that
But
high
that's
up.
how I. We'll talk about it. But
Yeah,
that's
yeah, we'll
how
get
I
into it.
ended up
Yeah,
getting into him. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I got for the this tour, Big Steppers, I was working at Live Nation as an intern, so that was my goodbye gift at the end of the summer.
Fire.
They gave me two free
Fire.
tickets, really close. Got to go with my brother. They gave me this poster behind me. That's a tour poster.
Fire.
So that shout out Live Nation for doing that
I watched
positively.
it on Amazon. It looked really good. It looked really good.
So you tweeted this other day, and I've been designing since ninth grade using hot glue guns, white out anything I can find in the crib. I was charging my friends. I hung up a few dollars to customize the snapbacks and making vests, and that seems to be the way that a lot of designers start. Was just like designing for their friends, and then
True
you gotta
story.
fuck around and just like make some stuff. It's so tell me about that intro to design. What got you into it, and what was that
Um,
period?
so like this was during the Tumblr era, like L3NF, Glenn, Kendall, Ken Rebel, excuse me. They used to call him Kendall, but like
Hmm.
Ken Rebel, the artist, Joe, so on and so forth. I was like really into that by the time I got to ninth grade. Like I was on Tumblr every day. You would see like photos of Tyler the Creator, so on and
Hmm.
so forth.
Yeah.
Like all of these people that like, if you know, for anybody that's ever lived in Brooklyn, it's very much a cul-de-sac if you decide to stay in your neighborhood. So
Hmm.
you don't see outside influences. I've always liked fashion. I've always been into Nike, like fly things. I just didn't know how to grasp it. And then when I got to be able to see like things on Tumblr, it kind of opened my mind. Like, wait, I need to leave Flatbush and
Yeah.
see more. And I ended up meeting a bunch of people on my journey because of that. And I would call it the after school special. Like after school, all my friends would come to my house. My mom would let them come over, girlfriends, whatever. Everybody would be there, and I would literally have a hot glue gun, white out. True story. All my friends can tell
That's
you,
sick.
white out, glue gun, whatever. Cutting jeans vests. Please don't ever bring back jeans vests, y'all. That's a
I saw
bad
that tweet
fashion
too.
statement. Yeah, that's terrible. That's the one thing we never need to bring back. But I was doing that at one point too, like just cutting jeans jackets for people, throwing bleach on them, whatever I could get, and like buying pins, put it on their patches, and that's how it started. It started from there, and then I was making snapbacks. It's funny. I used to like glue the material onto the snapbacks instead of actually sewing it because
Yeah.
I didn't know how to sew at the time. So I would just like glue it onto there and sell it for like $10. There's pictures somewhere on the internet. I don't know where they are, but like Chicago Bulls hat with a cheetah print on it. I used to wear that all the time. I
Yeah.
made that myself. And then it was a Duke snapback in like 2011 with camo, believe it or not, with
That's such
camo on it.
that's such 2010s early
Right.
style.
Just like buying whatever material I can or cut it. I think for the camo hat, I had cut a pair of cargo shorts that I had because we were so inspired by Wiz. The year before, Wiz
Yeah.
was like 2010, and I had camo shorts, and I used to wear that shit everywhere. And then I eventually cut it and then put it on the hat. It was a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But that was my intro to fashion, like very much so why I wanted to start designing. And I think I stopped for a long, long time. I always cared about getting fly, like,
Yeah.
but I just didn't have the funds, and I was also trying to build what we know now as effPerfection. Another fun fact:
There we go.
This is how Tumblr connects to effPerfection. effPerfection started on Tumblr. That was my username, and still my username on Tumblr till this day is kfuckperfection. That was since 2011, and I
That's sick.
made that
Yeah.
name. I made that name because of my mom. I had did this test in school, and I was still in high school at the time, maybe ninth or 10th grade, and I had gotten like a 97, and she was like, "That's not enough." And I remember being so mad. I was like, oh, what do you mean this isn't enough? A 97 is like, oh, damn near perfect. And I guess I just kind of like, I was so, being a teenager at that time, you just
Yeah.
raging. I'm in my room like, fuck perfection. And I literally turned that into my Tumblr name on some rebellious stuff. My mom never knew, but my mom is the reason why effPerfection
Yeah.
came about, believe it or not.
I thought we were about to get like
First person.
I thought we were about to get like a sentimental story of like your mom being like, "Honey, effPerfection doesn't matter," but she was actually the
No, she was
opposite.
the
She was the
reason.
cause.
Yeah, she was the cause of it, which is cool, right? It turned into a brand that is like thriving and starting to open a lot of doors for me. So, I mean, I'm thankful that she did that at that
Yeah.
time because it was the butterfly effect. It started from that, from Tumblr, and then turned into a whole brand.
Were you ever on like NikeID designing those shoes? Because
Hell yeah,
I was so onto that.
every night, and you wasn't buying them either.
Oh no, me and my brother would print it out, and then we made like a fake Nike store in my house, and like we printed them
Yo,
out, and
that's fire. I never did that, but I was definitely on the website every night trying to build Air Force Ones, and I could not get them.
I was making the ugliest possible shoes that just red, yellow, blue, just like
But you
colors. Of,
thought it was so cool at that time, for
oh,
sure.
it was the flyest thing that's ever been.
Yeah, that was for me really dope. Nike ID was definitely a part of it. Just Tumblr, Tyler the Creator was big. ASAP, we
Yeah,
have to give it to ASAP. ASAP Rocky was so pivotal for like how I think about fashion and streetwear. I loved when Rocky was very much on streetwear 2011. I was in Soho at the time with all my friends. They were wearing Margiela, Rick
yeah,
Owens. The things that people scream about now. In
he was on it.
2011,
Yeah,
they were on it, and then my friends adapted to that, and they were buying it. Subies in 2011, so on and so forth. Like people don't understand that Rocky
yeah,
and just the ASAP mob as a whole at that time. I don't think people talk about that point in New York a lot, but man, he was so influential on my style at the time. Like 10 deep, black scale. Like we were going this black
yeah,
scale every day because of these guys. We were in hopes of seeing Rocky in Soho. Granted, we did run into him, and it's crazy. That was the night somebody ended up becoming ASAP. He's redacted. I'm not gonna say his name and bring him up, but just know it happened at that time, and I was
yeah.
there.
That's
Um,
sick.
so many pivotal moments because of Rocky and just like how much he influenced fashion at the time and still is influencing fashion. Shout out to
Yeah,
Rocky, shout out to ASAP Mob. I know they're not all together anymore and stuff like that, but they were so like influential to me. That shit meant something to me at that
yeah.
time, for
It's
real,
cool
for
when
real.
you can like look at fashion 15 years ago or 10 years ago, and you're like, it's kind of prevalent now. I mean, we'll get into Kanye
Crazy,
more,
right?
but a lot of stuff Kanye was doing is very much just like what you can buy at Gap or buy at Uniqlo or
Man,
Zara now, like the
I
fast
love
fashion.
Kanye, but I think what he's doing right now is ridiculous.
Hey,
I'm never gonna back.
you're talking to a Jewish man. I'm on your
Yeah,
team.
I'm never gonna back anything that he's doing right now. But I will say, I'm sure this is the case for so many people. I have his lyrics tatted on me, and it breaks my heart to see him act the way he does.
What do you got tatted on you?
To whom much is given, much is tested. This is my favorite Kanye quote,
Yeah,
and I know it's a Bible quote, but I heard it from Kanye
yeah.
first, and it was that to me is like
From
the
Jesus' mind to Kanye's lips.
right, exactly. To me, that was the most like influential lyrics to me because that's how I feel. I carry all of the stuff that I deal with. But Kanye, man, very early on, super, especially that era too, 2010, 2011, My Dark Twisted Fantasy, his
Yeah,
fashion sense at the time, just I still wear a lot of that stuff from to this day, like the leather, the wax denims with the Jordan 1s, like that's still to me
yeah.
his most fire time in fashion to me as a whole.
I
And obviously he's gone on to do amazing things, but Kanye at the time, amazing.
that life of Pablo time for me, I think was his peak, where it's like, oh, he's
That was
really
fire too.
influencing like everything we're wearing.
Yeah, that was fire too. And a lot of people were dissing that at one point, just
And now
like,
I'm saying like that's what you go to like Zara and like that's what they sell is that
right,
type of like
crazy,
baggy
right?
monochrome type style.
Crazy,
And
crazy.
Tyler's a really interesting person because his musical arc and I guess his maturity as a human being is so also apparent in the style he was wearing, where you start out with
Yeah,
like wearing cat logos with Vans with high white socks, and I
or
was 100%.
Supreme.
I was 100% rocking like PacSun outfits that were trying to do that on a tree. I was never really in Supreme, but I was definitely rocking like that skater wear that was bright colored,
Man,
which was definitely him. And you saw when Flower Boy came out was kind of the end of that. And to Igor now he has like the I'm not sure what fashion what you would call that, but like the classier like
very
what
classy,
he's working. They're calling
70s,
me if you get
60s.
lost. Yeah,
Yeah, very 60s ish, 70s esque type, fashion. And I love it. I love all eras of Tyler. He had us. I used to skateboard too. He had us. I was in Supreme Store 2010. I got photos like my first yellow mustard 5 panel
yeah,
in like 2010, 2011, if I'm not mistaken, one of those years. But it was very around that time. And man, Tyler was also very influential in just like bringing that to the people that aren't hip to that type of stuff. Because like I said, if you grow up in certain parts of Brooklyn, especially me, I grew up in a Caribbean household, and Flatbush is very much Caribbean infused.
hmm
So I wasn't getting a lot of American culture. Like, I would go to school and people would have like ice creams in like '07, '08, and I'm like, how do people know
yeah,
about this, like, and I like them, but I don't know like where the influence is coming from, and like how are they paying attention to this stuff. Dunks at that time. And I have American friends. I'm American myself. I was
yeah,
born in America, but my parents are super Caribbean. They are like not invested in any American culture.
yeah.
When they heard I wanted to rap, they were like, hell no. Or
hmm
fashion, they were like, hell no, you're not doing none of that shit. You're going to college and that's it. But yeah, growing up in Flatbush, you don't see those type of things. It's very close minded. Like, a lot of people from there are very close minded. And I think now, because we have the internet, they're a little bit more open.
yeah,
But like at the time, growing up in those spaces, the only thing you knew is Jamaican music or Caribbean music as a whole, Caribbean food, Caribbean culture. None of like that's why I told you earlier before the conversation started. I wasn't really too hip on the Clipse. Like, I
yeah,
knew grinding and all of the stuff that would play on the radio, but like to do deep dives on those albums, I had to go back later and be like, damn, this is what I was missing as a kid.
yeah.
And I was just into um solely into Caribbean music. I used to shot dance, which is just like Caribbean culture dancing and stuff like that. And this was like 2006, '07
Yeah.
ish, all the way up until like '09. So all of that time, I wasn't open to any of these things.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I used to treat my Vans like they were Jordans, and I wouldn't want to crease them, which is crazy because I think
No, that's
Van.
fire though, because you understand sneaker culture.
Yeah, I would literally not. I remember like outgrowing a pair because I didn't wear them enough, and I was like, "Fuck, I should have just worn them." And then I got into the phase of like I like the dirtier shoe. I'm like, "Oh, the Vans look better when they're beat up and like you skate it." I
Yeah.
had like a penny board, and like you'd like scrape them up, and
Very early on in my life, although I was very much Caribbean influenced, anybody could tell you, anybody that went to junior high school with me, no, I kept a pair one I kept I one pair of white Air Forces and a couple other Air Forces that were different colors. But I promise you, those white Air Forces stayed white for the entire year. I would increase them. I would go home and stuff them. I would clean them every week with a
yeah,
toothbrush, because we were poor. Like, if you got a 4 pairs of sneakers in your rotation, you're living better than most.
yeah,
And you got to keep those shits clean, because
yeah,
the next time you get them is when your parents get tax money. For real, for real. So I would like be cleaning them and coming to school every day fresh with some my Nikes, my Air Forces, from throughout the, because school starts in September all the way throughout the winter in New York. And you live on the East Coast, brutal
yeah,
winters, snow,
awful.
dirt, everything, slush. I'm coming to school in those, and they're gonna stay fresh throughout the snow and
Yeah.
everything, bro.
I'll tell you a quick
So
funny story. I had a pair for my 12th birthday. I got a pair of infrared 11s, Jordans, and which aren't like the craziest shoe, but I thought they were really cool
right,
at the time.
fire,
And
fire though.
I never would wear them because I didn't want to crease them, and I kind of grew out of them. And my friend's little brother was like a sneaker reseller, so gave them to him, and I'm like, just sell them and give me whatever back. And like 6 years go by, maybe seven. This is like last year, and I'm like, my brother's like, whatever happened to those shoes? I'm like, I don't know. I never really got money for them. I'm at the gym playing basketball, and I see my friend, and I look. We're having a conversation. I look down. I'm like, are you wearing my shoes? He goes, yeah. I'm like, take them off. I'm like, give me back.
Wait, did he give them back?
Yeah, he didn't like because it was his little brother who was supposed to sell them, so he didn't do anything wrong. His brother must have been like, oh, here's some basketball shoes. I was like, I'm
Damn.
like, yo, take this off. And now they're 10 and a half, so I'm 11 and a half, but I can squeeze in them, and they're in great condition because I never wore them, and they played one
That's
basketball
fire,
game.
man. I wish I could find my old sneakers, even if they don't fit me. I was a sneaker collector from young. That's one thing I will say. Nike all day, like Air Forces, Air Maxes, everything.
And I think it's really cool when an artist can make their style go along with the album, such as like what Tyler was doing and what Kanye's been doing. And it not they're literally making brands, which is different, but like it is a cheap way that you can market an album by having like an outfit represent that album. That if you're always wearing like the same thing and like your marketing rollout for it, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's an era now. To the point that fans are
Yeah.
dressing. What other male rapper has kids dressing up as a character? Like it's a Taylor Swift Eras tour or it's a Beyonce tour.
Uh,
Like people are going to
can we
Tyler
give it to
Creator.
Cardi now?
True.
Kind of feel like Cardi is
Yeah,
making the kids love Cardi, dude. Like
they do.
21
Also,
and younger, they
that opium
love him.
style. Also, I
Yeah.
say when I went to a Smino concert, I'm like, all right, we're all dressed the same. We're all kind of dressing. We're all kind of
All his
wearing.
fans dressed the same is hilarious.
We're all kind of in like an Urban Outfitters like baggy pants type wave, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
we're all trying for the
Smino is
same thing
dope
here.
too, man. So dope.
He's great, and I wrote out some lyrics from you because I was bumping the album this week, and on
Okay.
Insecurities, I'm like, oh, he's talking exactly like this. So I'm gonna read out some lyrics, and feel free to stop me to start
That's
saying
a
them
good song to
yourself.
choose.
It's first the beat's crazy. But
Thank you, bro.
you were the first verse. You're talking about fashion with started with one pair, now that closet's filled instead. Never enough time to wear it all. I've become a slave to the vanity in the mall. Telling myself it's all image, all part of the plan. But am I just trying to heal the kid I once was, man? And it's a hard thing probably for you to balance. Like, am I like doing all this for the love of the game, or am I doing this for like the appearance to other people? And as someone now, you've actually become a fashion designer, so clearly it was for the love of the game. But like on that song, you're clearly grappling with kind of that.
Yeah, for so long. Okay. So like that song specifically when I wrote it, I was I don't know if everybody knows this, but I was very early on Cenat. I was
Really?
his designer for his brand from
Oh shit.
2020 from 2021 up until I'd say the end of 2022. We connected in 2020. I met his family, so on and so forth.
Oh,
The
wait,
relationship is
I got to hear more about that. How did you connect to him? Because I'm not like into streaming culture. I don't think I'm the target
yeah.
audience now that I'm 24.
I was there when Kai like sparked up his first stream, like seriously. Um, I've been to his house in the Bronx, so on and so forth. But this was at the time I started to make a good amount of money. Like so, 2022 or 23, I started writing about it because I found myself buying so many things, but I wouldn't. I'm not going a lot of places. This is like after the pandemic, so we're still
Hmm.
used to being inside for
Yeah.
so long. And I was buying so many things at the time, and that song came about because I was just feeling like, damn, am I just buying this shit for an image? Like, do I want people to like me? And I've always liked fashion, but it's like it kind of became a thing to me. Like, am I just buying this type of
Yeah.
stuff because it's a status symbol to say like, oh, I got Bape, or I
Yeah.
got the latest Jordans, or I got da da da, whatever was fashion at the time. Was it just for me to have a conversation with people or kind of look like I have it rather than putting my money into something that was more important, like my brand or like
Yeah.
investing in myself and so on and so forth, which I've always done. I've always invested in myself, but I don't know. That song was just me grappling with the fact that I couldn't. Am I doing this shit for me or just like other people or like to impress women because
Yeah.
women like now you start to look a little different, you're wearing certain things,
Yeah.
you smell a certain way now because you got enough money to buy like real cologne
Yeah.
and things of that nature. So I feel like I felt like it was masking my insecurities at the time. I didn't know how to not mask my insecurities at the time because I was dealing with a lot of things, and the only thing I had to show was like, yeah, I got clothes, or I got like a little bit of
Yeah.
money in my pocket. I can do whatever I want, and da da da. And that's not a proper way to go. I think your style should be an extension of who you are, but never let it be everything that you are. You know, like
Yeah.
who you
Yeah.
are as a human being. Don't be a shitty person and have on the flyest things. So many people in the fashion industry walk around like that. They're like have on the flyest shit, and they be like terrible people to everybody outside, or like
Yeah.
just like somebody that's serving their food and things of that nature. So I try my best now to detach from the fact that like, yeah, I buy expensive things, but I also don't allow it to define me as a human being, and just like allow it to run, let my ego run rampant
Yeah.
because I got some cool cloths, you know?
Yeah,
So
and I want to get back to the Kai Cenat thing in a second, but I was watching a
yeah,
video, ironically, yesterday with the actor John C. Riley, if you know from like Step
yeah,
Brothers, and
yeah.
it was funny because he had a really good fashion take, and people were like, "Why is John C. Riley spitting facts?" But he was talking about the Met Gala and how it's gone from like, because the cool part of fashion is it can be an extension of your like your
Your
personality. Like when
personality,
I see
yeah.
someone rocking like a Pokemon outfit, I'm like, they in their mind they have that shit on because they love
And they think
Pokemon, you
that's the
know?
best outfit ever.
And like you can like look at it in a judgy way. Or you can look at it like they got that to them. They got in the mirror and like this. I got that shit on. And he was talking how in the Met Gala, it's turned to like from artists expressing themselves to like, okay, this is the new line for this year, and like I can easily tell this is Gucci or tell this is like this brand, and it's kind of lost that cool part where you're like, oh, I can tell that they're into this thing.
You're right, exactly. And that's the truth. He's not lying. That's a fact. Like I hate people. I know at the beginning I said this is Marc Jacobs, but like I hate people that like make the logo or the brand everything. You wouldn't know
Yo,
this is a Marc Jacobs hoodie unless I
how much?
said something.
How much the hoodie? How much the hoodie? Like those TikTok.
I'm
How much the hat? How much
crying.
the
How
hat?
much? How much the hoodie? How much the hoodie? Yeah, just like I think ultimately don't make the label. Don't be a label whore. Like, oh yeah, this is
Yeah.
da da da. As cool as it sounds, and I know I made that as a joke at the beginning, but like people gotta like chill out. I hate the Balenciaga bandits. Like, bruh,
Not
yo, I
good.
just spent 6,000 on the Balenciaga. Da da da. It's like that Drewski skit, the misunderstood fashion kids.
Oh my, his video making fun of the opium kids with his like butt
The
crack out is the
bro,
funniest shit.
bro, hilarious, beautiful.
Even my brother, like, he was rocking rag and bone jeans, which are very comfortable, and I'm like, oh, how much are they? He told me, I'm like,
Those are some good jeans.
I'm gonna go buy some
Super
Levi's.
expensive.
I'm gonna go buy some Levi's. They're very comfortable, but
And Levi's are
also
great
expensive.
jeans.
A little
Super
expensive too,
expensive
but
too. Levi's have been expensive my whole life now that I think about it.
I just got me a
They've
pair. I
really
need new
been.
jeans. Cause funny, skinny jeans are out, and I had so many skinny jeans. I'm like, I need a little bit,
Now we're
not
back to
bag,
baggy.
not baggy in the sense like opium, but baggy in like this is not riding my cock like all up on me. That's what it's
I
going.
am a bigger person, so wearing uh baggy just looks like I'm a fat dude wearing like baggy clothes, like looking like I'm wearing regular clothes. So fashion is also about finding things that fit your body well too. A lot of people
Yeah.
don't do that. They don't buy clothes that fit their body and shape their body well. And you should. You should find things that look cool on you and what looks good on you. You know.
Do you know that account on Twitter? The guy who it's like a fashion guy, and he breaks down like there's a picture of like F1 people for this like movie premiere, and he broke down each outfit and how like they were all really shitty tailored suits.
No, I didn't see
No,
that.
this guy's really good. He does like huge fashion breakdowns in the history.
Yeah, I got to see that. That's fire.
I will send that to you after.
Yeah, you got to send it to me. That would be cool as hell.
So what was so Kai Cenat? So you at this point
Yeah, I was.
Is F perfection a thing? Is that what he's finding out about that gets the connect?
Yep. So I had did a release in 2020. You know, pandemic was here. I had just released a project, and I was so upset. Like I felt like the world was attacking me because
Yeah,
COVID happened.
yeah.
And my album had just released. We did a sold out show at SOBs, and I promise you, I was about to do my
Fire.
first on the radar interview. He wasn't doing freestyles at this
Yeah,
time yet, but I was cool with Gabe since 2019. We had connected, and I was finally about to go to 105.1 and do my first interview with him and Nyla Simone,
hmm,
and they shut down the whole world. And I had to pivot. I
yeah,
had to figure out what was next, and I was mad. I didn't really. I for a little bit, I was like, I don't want to do music right now because this is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Like I was fine. I had just got on Ebro. Like everything seemed like it
Yeah.
was about to be the most blossoming thing in the world. And then I was told that we couldn't come up there anymore and the world is shut down. So I pivoted to fashion, but I didn't want to do fashion. I'm not going to lie to you. I had these designs in my phone from like 2019 or 2018, and they were just sitting in there. I'm like, yo, I really want to make this. If I ever got money to do this, I would do it. And the pandemic came, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I was on unemployment because the world was messed up, and I got these unemployment checks, and I used the stimulus check too, and I banged out my clothing line. But there was a part of me screaming like, "Yo, you're a rapper. You need to just do rap
Yeah.
stuff in fashion." And my friend sat down with me. Shout out to Flocka. He's a really close friend of mine. He sat there and he was like, "Bro, I look at you like Kanye and like Pharrell and them, and like outside of your rapping, like you really good at rapping, but." You to me, you're not just one dimensional. I think you could do the fashion thing and do the rapping thing, and he kind of whipped me into shape about that.
Yeah.
Anyways, I did a collection. It came out really good. It got the eyes of J Balvin, his team. It got the eyes of Tyga, so many stylists and friends, so on and so forth. So I had that in my portfolio from
Yeah.
2020. And believe it or not, the way I got into contact with Kai was over Twitter. But obviously, guys, don't try that now. He's a different. He's 13 million followers in now, guys. It's a little different now, you know. But at the time, he wasn't streaming. He was doing YouTube, and I had known about Kai for a little while because I used to watch his YouTube videos, and I was showing my friends this kid. I swear to God, God is my witness. I was showing my friends this video, and they were like, man, that shit bullshit. Da da da. Like they did not care about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, he's gonna be. I swear, everything he's doing right now, I said he was gonna do. I'm like, this kid is gonna be the future. Yeah, I don't know why y'all don't see it,
Was
but
it like
I
funny?
got
What was it? Because I remember.
the videos. His YouTube videos were hilarious, and it was like. The people that he has now in the content house, like Poonga, Talil, you would see them. Dez, they did the ding dong ditch. This was like 2020. I was in the house doing nothing, so I found his.
Yeah.
I have found him through Facebook and seen his videos, and then just went on a deep dive on
Yeah.
YouTube and so on and so forth. But I was like, "Yo, y'all need to watch this. This kid is funny." They're like, "Nah, we don't care." Swear, he made the pivot from YouTube to Twitch, and I just DM'd him, and he kept talking about when he first started on Twitch. He kept talking about the fact that he wants to do a brand like a brand Kai Mafia, which is now like MGM or something like that. I'm not
Hmm.
sure, but at the time he wanted to do a brand, and I was like, damn, okay, how can I hit this guy up? So I hit him up and I just showed him the clothing line, and then at first he was kind of apprehensive. He was like, I was like, yo, bro, just give me your number. Like, I'm trying to connect with you. But, at this time, he was still Kai. He was growing. He was kind of famous, but he wasn't as famous as
Yeah.
he is now. And he was like, I don't just give out my number and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to connect with you on a higher level and create a brand with you, so on and so forth. And we ended up connecting, and I ran the head of operations of Mafia, Kai Mafia for 11 months up on all the way up until December 2021. We had finally launched. He made like, I don't want to say a number because I don't want to put his business out there, but just know it was a high amount in
Yeah.
10 minutes. It was a crazy amount, most money I ever seen in my life. I was like, holy. Um, he released that, and we released it and I shipped it out, and we kind of just like got into it about some other stuff, like other business stuff, and me and him don't really agree. But shout out to Kai, he's doing amazing things. I don't have no hate for him. I got nothing but love for him, and I'm happy to see what he's doing. I knew he was gonna do this shit. I
Yeah.
told him that for every time I would speak to him, I would be like, bro, you're him. You trust me. Everything you're doing right now is going to matter in a few, and I love to see what he's doing right now. So yeah,
And
that's how I ended up working for him, and now that's on my resume. So when I walk into
yeah.
office, I get to say I ran that for a little while, and
So I
now I'm
got
pivoting into my own brand.
I got two questions based on that. First one,
Okay.
what did it feel like selling out of something you designed? Like how dope.
Crazy. I guess in the moment you can't. I'm not good
Process
with
what that
processing.
means? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, I can't process the feelings right there and then. So like, I mean, it felt good, but I was also like, damn, this is kind of crazy. But I didn't know what else to feel other than
Yeah,
that. Like, I feel like I should have cried or something because that's like really amazing, and that's not something that I just
yeah,
skim over. That's something to be proud of. It felt crazy. Felt crazy. Now that I think about it, it's cool. It's on my resume now. I get to tell people that. I can show proof of it, things of that nature, and that feels
yeah,
cool to me. Somewhere on the internet, if you guys ever go look it up, it's somewhere out there.
yeah. Cause,
Um,
cause when I had
yeah,
I just had Dewey Saunders on the podcast and we talked about making the Malibu cover, and I had
right.
Malibu hung up in my college dorm room, and like
Crazy.
I'm like, what does it mean to you that that's just sold at college fairs and kids just hang
Beautiful,
up your
beautiful
art?
album.
Oh, it's crazy. I think it's the best album cover ever. And I'm like, people just hang up your cover in their dorm room, and or they wear it on a T-shirt because it's just stylish. Like,
He
what does
probably
that
still
mean?
can't process it to this day.
Yeah, I'm like that. Like when my friend who's not even an Anderson .Paak fan, like he sees that album cover, he's like, oh, that's freshman year of college. Like that was in there.
To have a staple, like a moment in time that means something to you, and then he's the creator of it is crazy. Can't stand it. Your heart can't stand a chance on the album's my
Hmm.
favorite Anderson .Paak song. Beautiful.
Ooh, champagne.
Yeah,
Can't.
that's my shit right
Yeah.
there.
So you were saying before that like J Balvin, Tyga, some of these people are knowing about your
Yeah,
brand. How
that's
is
also on
that?
my
Just purely social media or
social media. Like everything else,
shout
social
social
media,
media?
man. Luck, God,
Yeah.
God. I say God first, and then a little bit of luck. I tell people that all the time. Like with all of this shit, it's just like. Also, you have to have the product when you show up to these people, man. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
have something to show. Like people aren't just gonna buy into your brand because you say you are who you are,
Yeah.
but because you have an undeniable stack of proof that this is what it is. Like I've created these beautiful things and look how it looks. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
Most people tend to like it because to them it catches their eyes in different ways. And
Yeah.
effPerfection is a rebellious brand to me. Um, One day I feel like I will detach from like the middle finger stuff and so on and so forth. But right now it's effPerfection forever
Yeah.
until I reach a pinnacle in my life where I'm like older and I don't resonate with like the middle finger stuff.
Yeah.
I have a lot of older people that reach. I said that because I have a lot of older people that reach out to me and talk about my just like the middle finger stuff, and I'll be like, bro, I'm not changing that for anybody, not right now at least.
Yeah. It's funny you
This
say that
means
because
something to me.
my brother runs a creator community in New York City called Creator Economy NYC. He does it full time, and he started selling these hats that I'm wearing that says "Fuck it, create it." And I've talked to him about it. I'm like, it's a nice corduroy hat. It's a really well made. It has a cool patch on the side.
All
But
right.
I'm like, I don't know where I'm wearing a hat that says "fuck" on it. I'm wearing it right now,
Wear it
obviously.
anywhere, bro. I feel like there's no rules to it. I guess we get older and we start to like, because when you were like in college, you might have wore that and not gave a fuck what anybody thought, you
Yeah,
know? But we get older and we start to like create these non official rules about our lives. Like, oh, I'm older now, so I got to start wearing like fucking
yeah,
denim sets and be more professional. Yeah, you can be more professional, but at the same time, wear what you want to wear and wear it proudly. I feel like
so you're
I know
saying
it doesn't.
"fuck it, create it."
Yeah,
That's what
literally,
you.
fuck it, create it. You can't. I know when I cater to the older audience, they hate that shit, but it's cool. Like at the same time, I don't care. Like younger people like it, and that's what matters.
Yeah,
Because I'm trying to teach the youth not to be perfect at the same time. That's the message. We live on Instagram and Twitter, and everything looks perfect, and we probably shouldn't be doing that. So
yeah.
I
And
I, I want that to resonate with young people.
And to your point about luck before, I mean, my brothers preached to me like spreading your luck surface area where like luck can't occur unless you put yourself in the place for luck to happen. So like that's what you're
That's
saying,
the
like come
one.
prepared. Like, yes, it was
Yes.
lucky, but like you had to like work to get to that point. So something really cool happened to you recently where you had hit a hit a J3 rocking the new jacket. Oof. And
Man, crazy,
I mean, I need to hear how you got to him, how the GOAT, the man, the myth, the legend, Kendrick
crazy.
Lamar, Kung Fu Kenny has one of the jackets, and
He has one.
Snoop Dogg is in a video next to it. So Snoop Dogg has seen
Snoop,
this jacket.
Snoop is fucking with it too. Man. How can I? It's a. I recently seen this video about like how butterfly effects start,
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's just about planting that seed. I went to the GNX tour in New Jersey at MetLife Stadium the
Yeah.
second night. The second night, the last night they were out here. And that day, I had no idea that Kendrick would show up at the mall. If y'all don't know, SZA bought Kendrick out to the American Dream Mall the second
Oh
night,
yeah, yeah.
like very early. I was there, but I went there to meet because I knew SZA was going to do the pop up. I went there to give SZA a jacket. So I had these jackets in my bag with no idea how I would get it past
Yeah.
security. And I just was like, yo, I'm going to figure out a way because I really want this on their tour. I seen Kendrick wearing leathers on the tour very early. And I was trying my best, like, to get it to him. So I was like, maybe I could get it to SZA and she'll wear it and then he'll see it and so on and so forth. However, I didn't know Kendrick would be there. So I get there and I'm waiting. 1,300 13-year-olds are screaming in my ears because it's SZA, and then
Yeah.
Kendrick comes out at the same time. So they're in there yelling, and I'm recording it, and I'm recording it, and I'm like, damn, I can't get. And I wrote on Instagram, I was like, I'm trying to get these jackets to Kendrick, and I tagged him, but I can't because of these 13-year-old screaming girls and stuff like that. And mind you, I had asked Hitta like maybe weeks prior to send him the jacket to give it to Kendrick. Like I was like, yo, we connected already. Please, like if you can. He was like, yeah, send it to me.
Oh, so you
But he
know him.
never.
What's your connection to him?
So Hitta, it goes back to music. Crazy, right? Music is the first language that most people know about me before
Yeah.
fashion. Before this release too. Hitta, I followed him. This might have been the midst of the beef, like the midst of Drake and
Yeah.
Kendrick. I just ended up following him on Twitter, Instagram. Crazy enough, I didn't write him. He wrote me on Instagram.
Oh,
Shout
so
out to Hitta. That's big, bro. I got mad love and loyalty to him, man. He did something that a lot of people wouldn't do. But I reached out to him, and no, he reached out to me on Instagram, and he wrote me like this beautiful paragraph. Swear, he was like, bro, you are doing like he's seen the videos on my page from like one war at a time release, and he was like, bro, you're really close to like making some shit happen. Like I don't know you, but keep going. That's what he told me.
yeah.
I can't. That's not for verbatim, but that's what it was. The basis of it was that
Yeah.
he was like, yo, you are doing amazing things right now, and you need to keep going. Um, and that seed was planted from there. We followed each other. I would show love here and there, but we weren't talking every day. You know, that's not like my best friend, but he's
Yeah.
I know his mom now and everything. Like she's a lovely person. They're super dope people, man. And I hit him up prior to that event, not knowing,
Yeah.
and I ended up going to the event to going to the Kendrick Lamar GNX tour, and I had posted the video with the jacket, and then we went, and then I was like, and then I made another video on my story, and I was like, damn, I'm trying to get this to him. Hitta wrote me. He was like, bro, I told you to send it. I was like, yeah, but you didn't send me a name to send to the address you gave me and things of that nature. And then he finally gave me a name, and he was like, yo, you can send it, and then put my name on it for a jacket for me, and so on and so forth. And we went from there. I sent it out. It took a lot of money to send it out, by the way. For anybody that's willing to do this shit and not, you may not see results
Invest in
from it.
yourself. Yeah.
Right. It took like hundreds of dollars to get it out there on time for the California show, so Hitta could give it to him. Um, so I shipped it out. I got it cleaned first, then I shipped it out because I had sample pieces and I gave that to Kendrick and Hitta. And from there, Hitta really he got the jackets and he took it like he really like he took it to Kendrick. I was like, damn, bro, people aren't willing to just do that, you know, like
Yeah.
that's like not something that happens every day. But he fucked with me so much in terms of the music that he was like, bro, I got you, like I got it done for you, like because
And it's
I
a
know
fire
that I
jacket, which helps.
thank you, and it's a fire jacket on top of that. And he was just like, bro, you're doing amazing shit. So like, I'm gonna help you out. Like, and I love that, man. I love that. Like my hard work allows other people to come in and like see that and then be like, yo, I want to help you. How can I help you? Because you have it, and you're so close to like
Yeah.
being something. You just need that push to get there. And however I can do that, I will. And he
Yeah.
was a part of it, and he helped Kendrick. He helped Kendrick get to it. He helped Kendrick get it, and man, dog, that's my favorite rapper in the entire world. By the way, world, if y'all are watching this, Kendrick Lamar is my favorite rapper. Has been my favorite rapper since 2010. Like I swear, like I live by his words, and I know we're not supposed to idolize people, but those are one of those people that I personally have a very close connection to off of just his music before meeting him.
Yeah.
Crazy, like to Pimp a Butterfly, going back to Hitta, right? To Pimp a Butterfly, he's on the cover. And that was one of those albums that my mom was moving out of New York and she gave me the ultimatum to stay in New York, pursue my rap dreams, but I would have nowhere to stay and I would have to figure that out. Like I would have to go to a
Hmm.
friend's house or something and like thug it out. This is like right when I graduated high school, so this was like 18, 19. 18 years old. I wasn't 19 when I graduated,
Yeah.
but yeah, 18. And my mom, she gave me that, where she was like, "You can come move with me down south and go to college." And I chose music. And to Pimp a Butterfly, that summer was the most important. This was 2015. Yeah, that summer, that Mama song made me cry, man. Like real life cry. I
Yeah.
never had music do that to me before. And there's a couple Kendrick songs that have made me cry now, but that was one of the
Yeah.
ones that I was like, damn, I never had a song make me feel like that. And it was one of those things that made me be like, you. He said on the song, choose destiny or rest in peace, one or the other, like. And that was just like one of those pivotal moments that made me be like, damn, I gotta like, if I really want to make this music stuff happen, I gotta go see what it's about, and I gotta take
Hmm.
this. No matter what comes with it, I'm gonna stick to it, and I gotta go see what all of this is about. And that made me leave my mom's house at 18 by myself, no money, no resources, nothing. effPerfection existed, but it was not making money, and I didn't know what I was gonna do. I stayed at
Hmm.
friends' houses, I stayed on couches, I stayed at people's houses knowing they didn't want me to stay there. And Kendrick was the most important part of that. And that's why I have such a close. People be like, "Yo, you be glazing." You know how to use those words. You
Yeah.
glazing Kendrick, but like, he's my favorite rapper for a reason. Like, he means something to me. And the fact that Hitta was on that album cover to me is a full circle moment. To get
That's
him to
awesome.
get
Yeah. Yeah.
for him to get that to Kendrick is like butterfly effect. Like I said, man,
that
crazy.
that whole story is like a lesson in the spreading the luck surface area because each point of that,
Yeah,
like, people will be like, oh, it's so lucky you got it to him, but like brought it to them all, and like you posted this story, and like each one of those
right,
steps made it more possible because like you
dude,
can't win the lottery unless you buy the ticket,
right.
and you buy more
But the most
ticket.
important thing is showing up. And
Yeah.
that's what I did. I showed up to the mall that day. The show didn't start till 7 p.m., but I could have stayed home and waited until the show started. But I took it to the mall without knowing that it would ever get to him,
Yeah.
with the hopes of knowing, with the hopes of thinking that it may get to SZA, and then leading into that, I showed up first and foremost, and that led me to all of this stuff. So if you're out there watching that, show up. No matter what it is, show up.
Bro,
And I was
people
trying to convince myself not to go that day either.
because
Crazy,
people
crazy
think
enough.
caring and like shooting your shot like that can be corny, but it's so the opposite. Even
Right,
my first interview I've ever done in my life, I was in high school and I was a huge Chance the Rapper fan at the time. So I was, because of that, a huge Taylor Bennett fan, his brother. And I
right.
literally just like DM'd him. I'm like, I'm a high school, I write for my school newspaper. Like, can I interview you? And he's like, yeah, sure. And I got to go on his tour bus and I got to interview this guy who I idolized at the time.
Yeah,
And it's just like,
fire.
also that was the crazier story. I was writing and rapping at the time, but I didn't tell anyone I was rapping. And I brought him like a genius annotated lyric thing of my own raps. I'm like, everyone's probably rapped to this guy, so let me try to be creative. And that night I went home and told my parents, I'm like, I need to buy a microphone. Like I write music and I
Fire.
rap. And it's like that
Right.
whole night and that whole thing changed the trajectory of my life to be so music focused.
Yo,
And it was all just like
telling you,
small things of like shooting your shot and not
showing
worrying
up.
about showing up.
That's the most important thing, and I've learned it. It's so many times I've talked myself out of opportunities that I probably would have got so much further if I just like went and did it and like
Yeah.
wasn't trying to convince myself to stay home or like be in the house. Like show up, man, and do stuff alone a lot of the times too. Kids, if you're doing something, go out there, do it by yourself, do it alone,
Yeah.
do it scared, whatever it takes, do it. Just do it. Like there is nothing else to it except that. Like, go outside and make that shit happen, man. One way or another, shit might happen. You never know. And if it doesn't happen, don't be too sad.
At least you
It's more
tried.
opportunities coming. Yeah, exactly.
I think that is such a beautiful place to end it here because that's a beautiful end line
Yeah,
for how good for that.
for real, for real.
I wanna give you a spot to shout out what's got coming. As I said, this is gonna drop 2 days from now. Is the Westside Boogie track? But anything else where people can find you, where they can find effPerfection?
Um, it's your boy K Anthony. Make sure you follow me on all social media. K Anthony the third. I think Twitter is the only one that's like doesn't let me write out the third, so it's like
Yeah,
TH3RD. But my Instagram is THE3RD. It's verified, so you know it's me. Fperfection.net, not .com, .net. That's where you can go get any F Perfection pieces. Kendrick has one, so you should get one too now.
yeah.
um, I'm trying to think. And more music. I have a bunch of music coming this summer. This
There
Westside
we
Boogie
go.
thing is the first thing. We obviously are going to do the biggest rollout to this because it's Westside Boogie,
Yeah.
and I've never done a song with like a bigger artist than me. So,
Lot of Cali legends in this episode being
yo,
discussed.
shout out to LA. I'm a New York person, and all of that East Coast, West Coast beef that just happened recently, I'm not involved. I got love for Compton people. Compton shows me so much love. Thank you, Compton. Yeah, what the Westside Boogie song is coming. And then after that, I have a song called "I Know." Video is crazy. I've had it since last summer, but we've been working on the clothing
Yeah.
line and so many other things that we couldn't release it now. But now this summer, everything is coming out, and I'm finally
Let's
ready to
go.
release. So
Start of the
yes,
dominant. Start of the dominant. We're
yes,
flicking it down.
yep, yep. Literally, it's time. And then Deluxe Project. Deluxe Project is coming. One War at a Time, When the Dust Settles edition. So it's the
Cold.
deluxe to yeah. We got like maybe 6 new songs on it, and it'll be separate from the actual
Yeah, yeah.
song from the album, but you'll see it's fire, fire.
Well, if you made it to the end of the episode, I love you. Thank you. You can find me on social media at Adam-DASH _ on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCentric Music. You can find me interviewing artists, amazing artists like Kay. You can find me interviewing amazing content creators like Elsie or Annabelle, or talking to to music managers, or just music industry people, or just music. I have a newsletter that drops every Monday where I'm just writing about my musings. This week it was about artists who complain about being content creators, and I'm like, you don't need to be a content creator. You can just market. You can build a world. And I gave artists examples of that. Or I might rank my favorite Griselda songs. Like, it can really range from whatever. But thank you for
Right.
staying to the end, and we shall see you next time. Peace.